Only Murders in the Building brings back story time in Season 4, Episode 8. Characters bringing their perspectives is a regular feature in this series. In Lifeboat, the pace is slowed somewhat after a few hectic chapters. The opening of Episode 8 shows a flashback. The Westies get an invite from Milton Dudenoff to his apartment. He tells them that he's about to change their lives. The plans of the podcasters and their counterparts. Feeling safer than they did in Episode 7, the podcasters leave the safe house and head back to the city, but their car breaks down on the way. The latest murder theory is that the Westies killed Dudenoff to keep their subrent deals on the apartments. Saz found out, and so they killed her, too. But it's still a true crime theory, so the podcasters and their counterparts devise plans to get the Westies to confess. Eugene Levy thinks they should invite the Westies to Tony Danza's 35th annual extravaganza, but Eva Longoria believes they should surprise them with a ding-dong, which is a sexy surprise. However, Mabel has the best idea, suggesting they invite the Westies to a supersized game of Oh Hell. The Westies tell their side of the story. The Oh Hell game does not happen because the Westies suspect the podcasters know their secret, and so they lock everyone in a room so they can explain their side of the story. The stories. Ruddy explains that he went to Dudenoff's film class, and the man loved his acting. They became close friends and eventually got ham radios in the West Tower. Vince also attended Dudenoff's film class, and they bonded over loneliness and movies. Eventually, the Westies played Oh Hell with Dudenoff regularly. Dudenoff could not give up his apartments because he feared loneliness, so he broke the law and subrented them cheaply. He dreamed of living in Portugal and asked the Westies to cash his checks when he left. Helga's story. Helga is the sexual surprise in the episode, as Mabel allows Eva Longoria to have her plan come to fruition. Helga visits the apartment and tells her side of the story. She explains how she bonded with Dudenoff when she fixed his door and developed a father-daughter relationship. Helga gets introduced to the Oh Hell game. But one day, Dudenoff leaves for Portugal. Helga accuses the Westies of killing Dudenoff, as she has not heard from him since he left. The real story. Of course, it would not be only Murders in the Building without another angle to play with. A frustrated Vince reveals another side to all their stories. In a flashback, Vince and the Westies were invited to Milton Dudenoff's funeral in the basement of the Arconia. When they got there, Dudenoff was waiting for them with a camera. He explained to the Westies that he's got a few months left to live, but he does not want the apartments to be lost. He asks them to pretend he's still alive, cash his checks, and tell everyone that he moved to Portugal. The dark part of this request is that he asked the Westies to put him in the incinerator when he dies. Hence, the podcasters saw his remains alongside Saz Pataki. Dudenoff then filmed himself. In the present, Vince plays the film, which is a message from Dudenoff to Helga apologizing for not telling her the truth behind his plans. Just when you believe Season 4 could not get any more bonkers, it does. Back to square one. So, it's established that the Westies are not murderers, and Mabel assures them they will not be ratted out for subletting, and the incineration of Dudenoff. She chooses humanity, which ties into the theme of the episode surrounding loneliness and the need for family. As Only Murders in the Building Season 4, Episode 8 ends, Helga visits the podcasters and reveals she knows Saz, who used to talk to them with the ham radio regarding the plot holes in their podcast. Saz revealed to Helga and the Westies about a stuntman in a movie called Project Ronkonkoma. He was her protege, but he messed up and kept on harassing her. She thought the stuntman was dangerous. The stuntman in Project Ronkonkoma is Glenn Stubbins, who performed for Ben Glenroy. The only problem is that Glenn is in hospital, in a coma. Episode 8 is a classic OMITB installment, and storytelling is its strength once again. Relying on themes of family and loneliness, the series invokes some emotion despite being absolutely bonkers.